Well, hello. I'm Egbert Eggleston here. Oh, I'm outside of this window. How do I get inside? Oh, now that we're here in the house. Oh, this is a nice looking couch. Let's have a seat. Relaxing. Alright, so we're here in Photoshop. I got my character, I've got a scene. He's outside a window. What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna have actually two scenes for our character. So we're gonna switch scenes. We're gonna make like almost like a camera movement. There's really complicated camera movements you can do, but we're gonna keep it really simple. And we'll make them blink and their eyes move. So in the end, you'll have some camera movements, changes of scenes. You'll have your character talking. They're blinking and their eyes are moving. Okay. Alright, so in Photoshop since I've got two scenes, I'm going to use the same character for two scenes. Your different scenes could be completely different Photoshop projects, um, but I'm just going to do it all in one. So I've got this scene here, and then this scene here. So he's essentially just in between. He's behind the wall and in front of that background in the window. Up here he's behind the coffee table, but in front of the background. So that's how he's moving in space. All right. Um, so let's go into After Effects and we'll start a new composition. We'll call it Egbert. Make sure my Photoshop one is saved. And we will import that file. Egbert composition. I want to retain layer sizes. I've got some larger layers in there. Composition. Okay, so open. Okay, and I have some dialogue. There we go. Audio sample and open. All right. So I got my composition named Egbert. Here, pull this down. That up. Now in here, this is where I'm going to have my two scenes. Essentially, I need one scene that's just these two layers and Egbert. So what I'm going to actually do, I need two Egberts. One scene in Egbert, the other scene in Egbert. So I'm going to duplicate them. So we're going to right click on Egbert and let's see. Actually, we're going to go up here. Edit, duplicate, Command D is the hotkey. So I've got one Egbert there for this scene. And we're going to pre-compose this scene. So I'm going to put them together. Right click, pre-compose. And we're going to name this scene. This is actually scene 2 inside. This other one, we've got this. Pre-compose. Scene 1 outside. Okay. So we've got scene 1 and scene 2. These could be different, compositions that from different Photoshop projects, so on and so forth. This is how I've essentially made them for now. So scene 1 and scene 2. Essentially, what we'll end up doing is you create scene 1. And on my timeline here, I'll have scene 1 ends. Let's say scene 1 ends here, and scene 2 begins there. So as it plays, it'll go from there to there. Okay, so it's really simple and really straightforward. This can be done also if scene 1 and scene 2, you have a bunch of different things and things are getting too much in After Effects. This is where we would just work. This is called working laterally. We work laterally along this panel here, which is what Premiere is for. After Effects is more working vertically, where we're stacking a bunch of things on top of each other here. making a bunch of different layers. So After Effects is typically vertical, Premiere, so vertical stacking, Premiere is lateral, or working horizontally along the timeline, typically. So here we have scene 1. Let's go into scene 1. So scene 1, he's outside. Oops. Let's get Egbert. Alright, so Egbert is, let's say Egbert's over here. Position. Oh, wait, let's put that at 0. You give it a couple of seconds, and then the position movement starts. So he kind of zooms in there, and we'll make him enter the scene. Okay. So let's make Egbert a little bigger than that. Sure. Looks good. Alright, so he's going to walk in here. At this point, we're going to see him. We want Egbert, well, not from this point, from just the very beginning. He should be blinking and his eyes moving. So we're going to have left eye and right. We're going to make them move together, so we're just going to pre-compose that. Eyes. I'm just going to do position. We're going to start position, and I'm going to zoom in here. Spacebar switches to your little grabby hand to move around. Alright, so eyes moving, this is the easiest. So we started position, move it down a little bit, and then we're going to have, I'm just going to scoop the position over, a little too far. Alright, so we're going to make him look over that way, move position over. I'm going to have his eyes stay there for a second. So I'm going to, right now the position of his eyes are 966. So I moved over 6 units, pixels, 966, 540. I'm going to hit the little diamond, makes a keyframe. So from the first diamond to the second diamond, it moves from 960 to 966. His eyes moving to the right. And then from the second diamond to the third diamond here, from here to there, 966 to 966, no movement. Now I'm going to go down a little further, and let's make them move real slow. And I can also grab them here and make them go like that. Alright, so my eyes aren't very big, so I can't really move them too far. And then let them stay there just for a second. Click the little diamond, make a keyframe. And then here, we'll keep this one real close, so the eyes just kind of like whip back right at you. So let's see. I'm going to hit the play button. Alright, so this is happening really, really slow. So I'm going to zoom in. That movement's way too slow for my liking. So we're going to grab all these keyframes, and I'm just going to cluster them closer together. They're kind of oddly evenly spaced out. So this will now, his eyes will move 2 to 3 times over 2 seconds. Alright, and I'm just going to highlight all these keyframes. I'm going to hit Command C, or let's go edit, copy, and edit, paste. So you'll see this when we get to blinking. I can take these movements, and I'm going to use the hotkeys for it. Command C and Command V. Now it's going to be completely, I wouldn't want to really do this for my animation for the eyes moving. It's going to be essentially repeated eye movement. But you can see how you can make a movement and just copy that movement and paste it again. That's what a cycle is. So we talked about walk cycles and blink cycles. So now we're going to make him blink. Let's see, our body. We're going to use the puppet tool. And let's see, our body. Okay. So what I'm going to do is expansion, density, expand it. I guess that's about as good as I can get right now. Now my guy's eyes are this isn't going to work maybe super great for my guy. We'll try him out. My eyes are big and wide open and round, so that's going to make it a little extra difficult to get them to close all the way. So that's why I'm having to use quite a few puppet pins. Essentially, we're putting pins all around the eyeball. Now, there are a bunch of ways that you can make stuff blink. So if you've got other ways that you want to try, that's totally fine. This one, I probably should take a little more cartoony route, but we're going to do it this way. So I've made all these puppet pins. Going back to 0, that's important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all the ones on the top. And I'm going to zoom way in here. I'm going to go holding command on my keyboard. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Actually here, I'm just going to click it just for a second just to get them to, that essentially stabilizes their position. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to pull those down. Now, we see it's taken the top of my head with it. There's different things we can do here where we can puppet starch, which will stop it. I just kind of throw up a couple of pins along any parts of the head, face. My eyebrows are separate, so if you have eyebrows on like an actual image of a face, you may want to put pins on those eyebrows. So let's go back here. Now I'm going to pull him down. Okay, it's grabbing his hair a little bit with it. Let's go back. I'm going to click up here along his hair. Alright, let's do this one more time. Almost. That's fine with me. Grab these, pull them down. Essentially the idea is you want this to be flat. Alright, and let's look at my puppet pins. So you open up all this stuff here. So where it says under effects, you get puppet. There's a little dot here. Open that. I opened mesh because there's a little dot. We're following a little dot until they turn into diamonds. So here's all of our puppet pins. So I'm going back to 0. These, I'm just going to move them a little bit. What I'm doing is a keyframe is appearing down at 0. What I want to do is make sure that these pins are keyframed at 0. Alright, so that's when I move those, you see it's going to move more of his body, so I'm going to zoom out. We're going to throw some more pins just all around his body. Okay. Let's zoom back in. Alright, now I'm going to go back to 3. And here we want these. And pull them up till they're closed. Now, we don't need the Puppet Warp to open them back up. We're going to copy the keyframes. So here, now I'm going to focus. I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to hit my little, there's a little hotkey symbol to open this up just by itself. Or you can grab here and just pull this up, because now we're just looking down here. So we can see that the pins that have movements at third frame, these are the ones we want to open. So puppet pin, let's scoot this over. Oops. Okay, puppet pin 36 is my first one. My last one is puppet pin 5. Open those all up. Now, this looks confusing, but it's really not. Okay. Okay, puppet pin 23. Alright, so actually I think it starts at 23. Okay, so here, I'm going to take, these are when the eyes are open. So I'm going to highlight all those. I'm going to edit, copy. At 3 frames they're closed. At 6 frames we want to be open. Edit, paste. Alright, so we have our first blink cycle. So essentially we have them at 0 open, at frame number 3 closed, frame number 6 open again. So let's watch it for a second. So let's look at this and let's hit play. Alright, so his body moves quite a bit, but it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do now, we have a blink cycle, is we're going to take this, so the open, closed, open, that's the blink cycle. Highlight all those keyframes. Copy, so Command C to copy. Edit. Copy, Command C. Go down, so another second. Let's say 1.5. Edit, paste. Command V. So I'm going to use hotkeys from here on out. And I'm just going to move around and paste. And we're going to zoom out of our timeline. Paste, paste, paste. So I don't know how long my animation is going to be, but I'm going to go through here and just continue to copy, just paste, blinking randomly throughout the whole thing. Okay, so now let's fit the screen. Alright, so he's moving. The frame rate's a little slow. And if I just go... Now be very careful about adding puppet pins at later points in time. They can mess with it. And I'm just going to put 2 on his feet. But his feet won't wiggle when he blinks. Alright, so now we go back here. So Egbert's outside. Okay, he comes into the frame. And let's hit play. Right, remember, it's running really slow. We can see our not real time 10 frames per second because I have it in full resolution. So I can change that there, and I can change it here. So let's look at if I do resolution, let's do 30. Let's change this. Alright, so we have his eyes moving, we have him blinking, and then here we have scene 1 and scene 2. So I had him blinking for quite a while, so he should just essentially be there blinking. And then this is going to switch to scene 2. And he's still blinking. Okay, because it's the same, he's the same composition. Alright, so, and then for, if you want a simple camera movement, let's say he enters, and then let's take this whole scene and open it up, and let's say we do position and scale. So position, scale, and then essentially here we're going to have it essentially kind of zoom in. So scale, we'll have it go like this, and position, we'll scoop that over. Right, so now he's going to enter the scene while blinking and his eyes are moving. And then the camera zooms in on his face. Alright, so it's not a lot of crazy stuff, but it's a bunch of new stuff. So, let me know if you have any questions.